First, just let me give you a little bit of background on who Digital Realty Investment Trust are. First and foremost, they're the largest developer, owner and manager of data center infrastructure globally. So today we've got data centers in 131 properties, represents about 23 million square feet of IT white space. So that's effectively data halls to house your server, storage, architecture. We've been in Ireland since 2008, happy to say, and we have 3 fully let data center buildings already. 2 are with dedicated customers, and we have a multi-tenant facility up in Blanchardstown that many people will know in Dublin already, and it was originally the famous Worldport building, launched at the end of 1999. So with good news, we decided to embark on further expansion in Dublin, and hence why we're here today at Profile Park. We acquired a site 2 years ago, a 10-acre site. The difference is that we're coming into it at the right time. So we're not building a legacy infrastructure, we're building a new innovative structure. And today you'll see that in Profile Park we will have 4 buildings. Each data building will house 20,000 square feet of IT space, and it'll be modular. Okay, there's 2 things we've built on over the years of our experience in building data centers. One is we now build to standard worldwide. So we have a pod architecture that allows us to build and test in a factory before we deliver on site, so all the pre-installation testing work is done. The second thing is that we've learned over time is that in certain environments and climates, it's possible to use the environment to cool the data center. And Dublin is a perfect location for that, and that's why many of the large ICT companies are located here already with air-cooled data centers. So we're implementing a relatively new technology here called indirect air cooling. And basically, we are taking the air out of the hot data hall room effectively and putting it through a heat exchanger on the outside of the wall and bringing that air back into the data center cooled. And we'll run the data center at a temperature of about 24 degrees, which is a little bit higher than what was used before, around 21 degrees, but it allows you to be super efficient. And secondly, the innovation that comes from this indirect air cooling is it doesn't use any water, doesn't use any mechanical refrigeration. And so what people were used to as air conditioning units in a data center, they don't exist in this new one. So I've mentioned to you about the innovation, about using indirect air cooling, etc. So if you think about it, air conditioning units need a lot of electricity to run. So if you're not running air conditioning units, you're not expending that on electricity. So if we take a typical data hall that we're building in Profile Park, it's 10,000 square feet. The electricity energy saving cost per annum over a traditional data center in Dublin today would be about €500,000. So if you can imagine how that helps people grow, expand, not be constrained by unpredictable costs, it's a huge benefit. There's also a nicer point to this indirect air cooling. When you now go into the data halls, there's no humming of fans. It's quiet, it's white space, it's a good environment. Well, as you know, and everybody knows this about the success of Ireland globally, I mean, there are 4 T's that contribute to Ireland's success. There's tax, there is talent, there is track record, and there is technology. So on the technology side, many of the large multinationals realise that they could build data centres in the Dublin market and run them super efficiently and keep their OPEX and operating costs, their energy costs, in a predictable manner. So they could forecast over a period of time how much things were going to cost them, and they could manage that and grow accordingly. And so data centres are key in this technology piece of the 4 T's in terms of driving more innovation into Ireland, more investment into Ireland from foreign direct investments, because we're keeping ahead of the rest. And we're offering companies lower costs and predictability to come into Dublin and have their engine room in Dublin. And then they build on that engine room to attract their talent, utilise the benefits of locating in Ireland, and expand this as being their launch pad into Europe.